Okay, Cameron, I'm going to need you to look at your review and match up the part of the review to this because I could not get it to print out, so I had to just rewrite the problems. Okay, so here's problems 6 through 8 and 9 through 11. First off, starting with convert each to degrees. Don't forget to check your email. I sent you a picture. I guess actually if you're seeing this, you've checked it. But I sent you also a photo of the board where I had written the formulas for degrees to radians. The basic thing to remember is you're either using pi over 180 or 180 over pi because 180 equals pi. Okay, so those are equivalent. So it's just a question of which one needs to go on top, and that depends on which one you want to end up with. If you want to end up with degrees, the 180 is the degrees part, so you would put it on top. Okay, that also helps because the ones that have pi in them, the pi's are going to cancel that way. So I'm going to do 11 pi over 4 times 180 over pi. Okay, 11 times 180, let's see, gives me 1980 over 4, both of them times pi. Now my pi's will cancel. Okay, I can do it like this, or I could have cross-canceled them back here. Remember, that's not cross-multiplying, that's cross-canceling. So you could have done that then, or you can just wait and do it now. So now I've got 1980 divided by 4, which is 495. So this is 495 degrees. Okay, same thing here. I want to end up with the degrees, so the 180 goes on top. All right, and that gives me negative 360 pi over 9 pi. Negative 360 divided by 9 gives me negative 40 degrees. Okay, this one does not have a pi in it, so the pi's aren't going to cancel out. But what it is it's like a decimal version of radians. So what you're going to do is you're going to change the final answer to a decimal. So we've got times 180 over pi. So I've got 5 times 180 on top. That's 900 over pi. So 900 divided by pi is 286.478. So I would probably go 0.48 degrees. Okay. All right, next section. Use a calculator to find the following values, round to 2 decimal places. Okay, so first thing is, the main challenge here for most of these things, well, not most, but at least number 9, is that calculators don't have a secant button. We've just got sine, cosine, tangent. So first thing is we have to remember what secant goes with. Remember that sine goes with cosecant, cosine goes with secant, and tangent goes with cotangent. Those are the reciprocals. Okay, those are called the reciprocal identities. So secant is right here. So if I want to know something about the secant, what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of that in terms of cosine. Okay, so the secant of 1 over 50, oh, excuse me, the secant of 152 is the same as 1 over the cosine of 152 degrees. Okay, make sure your calculator is in degrees. Okay, if you don't remember how to do that, go to mode. So make sure your calculator's in degrees if you're using degrees. If you're using radians, make sure your calculator's in radians. Okay, so we've got 1 divided by cosine 152 and that's going to be negative 1.1325, and so on. I am in degrees, right? Yep, I'm in degrees. So that's about negative 1.13. And that's my answer. Okay, the next one is not in degrees, it's in radians. However, nicely enough, cosine is a button on the calculator, so that's nice. But I have to change my mode right up here, next to second. Mode, radians. Now I can do cosine of, and I tend to be extra paranoid about order of operations. So because I want to do 3 pi first before dividing by 5, I put 3 pi in parentheses, then divided by 5. And I get negative 0.309. So that's negative 0.31. Okay, last but not least, we're back in degrees. Again, we're lucky because tangent is a button on the calculator. So let's change it back to degrees. So I can go tangent negative 127. And I get 1.327, which is 1.33. And those are my answers here. Okay, let me get you the next page in 1 sec.